My thoughts have evolved to thinking is art as an experience outside my control.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something I can achieve to be. And it's like, I did a workshop over the summer and I think I took the lesson
The wrong way.
Yeah. I followed up after with the person who was hosting it and they were not happy with my takeaways.
Yeah. Welcome to What's My Thesis. I'm Javier Proenza, and today my guest is Jahn Muller. We know each other. You went to Long Beach, Cal State Long Beach, with all of those people. So, like, you are the white dude at the brown parties
with a terrible imposter syndrome as I see like Elmer and Tita do their things.
Well, I mean, those guys are like, give everybody imposter syndrome, but they're very nice. They're
very nice.
They are very supportive. They were like, hey, people were telling me they heard my interview at the opening. So I don't mean to... They don't do it intentionally. They just make us feel lazy. So when did you graduate from there?
Same year as Tita and Elmer.
Oh, okay. That's a lot of perks. But you got into USC. Let's not, like, you're part of a good class. You and Jacqueline. Did you and Jacqueline Valenzuela graduate at the same time?
I was in that class with Elmer and Tita.
So she graduated after?
Yeah, she started, Jackie started, I don't know. I think she started the year I graduated or the year after.
Uh-huh. How are you liking Roski? Is that how you say it?
Roski, I
Roski.
think. I don't think I've ever seen it pronounced by
anybody
of authority.
Oh, well, that's definitely not me.
Like, it's all students playing around.
Yeah, trying different phonetic iterations.
Yeah.
So you are, like, what are you identifying as now? Painter wise, like artist wise, painter, sculptor, conceptual?
Thinking painter, poetry, and photography. I'm trying to move away from the idea of identifying as an artist.
Oh, really? Why is that? That's an interesting thing.
My thoughts have evolved to thinking is art as an experience outside my control.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something I can achieve to be. And it's like, I did a workshop over the summer and I think I took the lesson
the wrong way.
Yeah. I followed up after with the person who was hosting it and they were not happy with my takeaways.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I'm thinking of, like, how can, like, you have a good definition of art that doesn't expel people? Like, how can you have a drawing of, like, a toddler and grandma puts it on the fridge and that still be art?
I mean, I think it is, no?
Right.
Yeah.
But to somebody other than the grandma, it might not be art, but to the grandma, it definitely is art. So
yeah, so, like, you're is this like about hierarchies that you're kind of talking a little bit?
I think the definition of art has it's conservative to think of it in hierarchies. Like, it's a very, like, who's in, who's out.
See, because I have an interesting take on art that someone rebelled against.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to make this episode about that. I'll bring it up later, but it's interesting to hear different perspectives. I tend to think art, and we don't have to debate this throughout a whole episode. We actually got into an argument. But it helped me kind of refine what I was trying to say. I think all art is propaganda. I think it's like written language. You know, it works with a different vocabulary, the motifs and all of that, the concepts. It's a lot more intuitive, you know, all of that. But ultimately, it is propaganda. And, you know, so the counter argument was that art is, that, like, not all art is equal, right? There is good art versus bad art, right? But I think that kind of perspective comes from the fact, oh, there's a scarf sticking out of my door. That's art. But I think that, like, ultimately, I am trying to propagandize you on what I am trying to communicate to you, right? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how I think of it. So in terms of purity and all of that, that gets tangled up in power systems. So yeah, so that's kind of what I think of it. And so like all the power that corrupts it and all of that, like I think within that context, art makes sense to me. But I find what you're saying really interesting. So how tell me a little bit more about how you see art, because it's not about hierarchies. You're not making, because that's like a pretty common argument.
It's my idea of art has shifted to it being the experience of the witnesser.
Okay.
So it's the witnesser's experience that can be an art experience, not the as a painter, as a poet, as a filmmaker, as whatever I want to be. I can and tend to make an art experience, but that doesn't necessitate that what I make is an art experience.
Just because you declare it art, it doesn't make it art? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Okay. Yeah, it's because what is art can also change over time in the context that it's viewed in.
Yeah, and things that are not considered art can become great pieces of art.
Yeah, or somebody can come in and add dialogue that transform something into an art object or art experience. Yeah,
the fair use application to like...
Or
I can't wait to see art from Epstein Files. Anyway, we don't have to get into it. That whole generation. Sorry, I derailed you.
Yeah, but so separating it from experience, it puts the observer as the most important interpretation, and the culture that surrounds them and whatnot, because I think a lot of Western conceptions of art makes Western ideology center. So does it get into the museum? Does it do that? Does it do this? And it excludes anybody. That's not just Western, but anyone outside of an institutional practice.
Yeah. Or commercial practice.
Commercial practice. Whatever that might be. But the emotions are what's important, because we're emotional beings.
Yeah.
We're spiritual and emotional in nature. We're not, I think, you call that ChatGPT, like the difference between the way we think and the way that ChatGPT thinks is our thoughts are based on belief.
Yeah.
Like entirely, like a doctor, somebody decides to become a doctor and they are able to do surgeries because they have informed beliefs that they're able to do that. It's just all the thoughts are floating around like mush. It's not retrievable. It's recreated every time they're going through surgery, right?
Okay. Yeah. Like a memory, you're never. You're altering it every time you come into contact with it.
Yeah, it's like this loose nebulous. It's not like a fact written in a book, which is how like ChatGPT kind of thinks it pulls up.
Yeah,
concrete. It can still hallucinate, but...
And for people that are confused, the part that I brought up, ChatGPT, was the part that I cut out.
Yeah. I'm keeping it in the cut.
Okay. So, all right. But then what... I understand that, but what is your hesitation? Because, okay, I find the hesitation with artists interesting. I still haven't decided if it is something that is more tied to, or I still don't know from what our conversation, if you're more feeling like it's too grandiose, it's self-declarative. That was my struggle with artists, with declaring myself an artist. It was not easy for me. I also don't know if like, because you're in school, you're kind of rejecting it, because academics tend to have this like, the academia tends to put you in this mind space. I'm not saying that, like I'm not belittling it,
but it's like become a cynic.
No, not go to school to become a cynic, but I think
that trope, right?
Yeah, but I'm not saying, but that's not what I'm referencing. I'm saying that like my experience is that when you're in that environment and you're not like at your day job and all of that, which I've done, right? You end up in this high-minded academic place. The people that teach maybe are a little sheltered from like the commercial art world, depending. I don't know about USC. You probably have very good, very famous teachers and stuff. But I always feel like it's almost like artist is like Christ in that like a secular space where it's like, oh, well, these people are like high priests of creativity and whatnot. And then that kind of put me in this space of like, well, do I live up to that? You know, when I had graduated and I had a very hard time with it because I'd studied all these great people. Is that at all resonating with you? Or it sounds like it might not even be related to what you're talking about.
I think it's related to this struggle and what had me come to this realization for what's helpful for me. The reason why I want to separate art as the experience is because it's an easier goal to hit.
But my question, so I agree with that. I think if you're not, like, because it goes back to the propagandistic thing. If you're not conveying a message, you know, then it's just a pretty picture or whatever. Even if that is the message. So like, what I don't understand is like what the rejection of what I'm trying to pin down is the rejection of the term artist. What is the motivation behind that? I got the art part. Because why couldn't the artist be the conveyor? And I'm not pushing back. I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, like because at the end of it, I'm not the one that decides if something is art.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, yeah, I get you. And
something that might be considered art today might not be considered art when I die.
So do you think there's validity when people are like, well, that's just like with the people that are against art they don't understand, that like, you know, they'll call it modern, but they mean like contemporary and conceptual?
I think it's I think they're closing themselves off to possibilities. And like the value of somebody pursuing the arts is somebody that's trying to open minds or share experiences or whatever is it that they want to share. It's like looking for a connection. And when that's usually not who. It doesn't really make sense to try to connect with somebody who doesn't want to make a connection, to be like, oh, this or that's not art. They're not who you're trying to connect to. It's people like you or people on the fence who need a little bit of convincing. You're never targeting radicals. It's like going to a political rally that's completely opposite to your point of view. Like, why are you, it makes sense. Other than having a special on Comedy Central and being like someone like Trevor Noah or whoever is like doing a comedy special, like what's the point of going to those places? I think that makes sense. Because I think that like you have to be making. It's an interesting perspective. I think that it's one that comes probably from like having a lot of time to think about art, which is not to disparage it, but it is an interesting, like these are the kinds of things that you think about when you're in school. Tell me a little bit more about your practice and like what it is that you're making so that we get a sense of how the work fits into this context. Because there's so many different ways. I find this interesting, the idea of the artist, because you know about like how the ancients, in classical times, the Greeks, the Romans, they thought about the genius, right? Are you familiar with that you channeled the genius as opposed to being the genius? Yeah, I just watched David Lynch reels on Instagram now.
I got it from the woman that wrote Eat, Pray, Love, who then later wrote a book about trying to kill her girlfriend or some shit, but like with consent. It was just that woman fell off the deep end. But she had a TED talk about it, and it's just interesting. Like her TED talk was about how she had written Eat, Pray, Love, and it was a big fucking hit. And then she was like, "What do I do now?" So then she got into this idea. But it sounds like it might be more of a thing that frees you up, more than like something that you like would institutionally try to get like dogmatically applied to like a whole college kind of thing? Or would you be down for that? Would you be down for that experiment?
To try to change the definition in like Webster's?
No, but to do a program where you think of like as a teacher yourself, you know, like I have teachers that I have friends that have done stuff that are subversive. Like I know a well-known artist that taught at a school, and he was like, I'm your peer, there's no hierarchy here. And then the rest of the faculty got really mad at him. I'm talking in that context. Like, would you be interested in teaching that perspective to other kids? Or do you think it's something that's just helpful to you?
I don't think... I think that like hierarchy and what I'm saying are separate things.
Yeah, no, I was just using it as an example.
Let me explain. So for the example of painting, like your professor might know how to do a portrait really well. Mm-hmm. And then there's still a hierarchy in that.
Yeah.
They're teaching a skill set like a tradesperson would.
Yes.
So there's a value in preserving that hierarchy, but understanding why that hierarchy is in place.
I think this artist would argue against that, but I get what you're saying.
Right.
I think that's the academic perspective. Yeah.
Right. So the point of school would be to learn the vocabulary to communicate to other people, not what to say to other people.
Yes. So then, is this like, I guess what I'm like, I'm saying, is this like a broader philosophical thing that you have for the art world, and that you think that it would help people understand the art world better? Or is this just a personal way for you to process your practice?
I don't apply it outside myself,
okay,
but it might help people.
All right. Yeah, no, that's why I'm asking about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like, tell me more about the work. Tell me what you're making, motifs, conceptual conceits and stuff like that. I want to see how this mindset helps you create.
So right now I'm working on a series of paintings for my thesis show coming up in April, where I've gone to a lot of objects are coming from estate sales. I'm getting all the silly little toys that boomers are leaving behind.
Okay.
And setting them up in still life arrangement to have them act out emotional outreach.
In what sense? Like what kind of emotional outreach?
A lot of them are examining photos or sharing photos. And for me, it's kind of like these objects that are left over from the previous generation are what I have to act through to be able to bring value, to explore the value of my own life in the current society we live in.
Okay. That's an interesting, like, can you expand on that? That, like, what have you learned from these objects? Like how does, because my parents are old enough that they remember the time before plastics, and that shit blew my mind.
Yeah, I'm using the like boomer artifacts because I feel like that's all we have left.
Are your parents boomers? You seem...
My mom is the first year of Gen X. My father is a boomer.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he's slightly older, like he's at the last, but I don't...
Yeah, but the distance between me and your mom, because I'm the last year of Gen X, and she's the first year, so that's a big gap.
Yeah, that's a big gap.
Yeah. Well, so you will start to see that more with millennials too, like as they get older.
Yeah, sometimes like the last year of millennial.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that anyway. So like, what is your experience of boomers as a millennial? Because I'm like closer to that generation.
I think it's that because they have so much money, inadvertently, whether they like it or not, society caters to them. Like I saw a statistic recently, I forget which publication put out the study. It's like the top 10% of income earners do 90% of the spending in the... No, it's 50% of the spending in the economy. 10% of income earners in the United States account for 50% of discretional spending.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of the money is tied up in the
To properties too, right?
to property. Yeah,
that's why we can't buy shit.
That's why we also keep getting Star Wars sequels.
Yeah, but they're not for like geriatrics. They're for little kids. They're trying to make it. I'm deep in that.
Yeah, but like where is this generation's like Star Wars property?
It's on YouTube, probably. I would guess,
But there's no more cultural monoliths. And,
oh yeah, for sure.
I think I've been conditioned to expect them because that's the value system that was there, and it just isn't there.
Yeah.
But what is there is a repeat of all the cultural monoliths of previous generations.
I agree, but I think they try and they fail a lot. Like A-Team, they try to bring back A-Team, all of this shit, So, but I get what you're saying. I think that, and I think that you're right. It's probably is because like, I mean, even all of cable news is geared for like not us,
Yeah.
People that have like, that's kind of what they're freaking out about a little bit. But it's interesting because it sounds like there's a class element. Like we barely ever talk about class in this country, but there's class in there. But it's also generational class, which is something that is an interesting thing that's happening where like newer humans don't have the same upward mobility. So it seems like, is that one of the things that you're kind of curious about?
Yeah, I'm curious about the upward mobility and the acknowledgement of that upward mobility, because I think more pressing than the lack of mobility is the judgment for lack of upward mobility. Like
in what sense?
You turn on the news and it's like, oh, you're eating too much avocado toast. It's your fault. You can't do this or that. Instead of acknowledging that shit sucks, because I feel like the bare minimum, like shit sucks, but we're not going to do anything about it. That would feel better than shit sucks and it's your fault.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that doesn't hit me that hard because I don't feel, I guess I'm not young like that. That like, I mean, I got like 10 years on you and some like 13 years on you. But so I think I still got caught in the time where if you made good moves as a person, you could still, as a working class person, set aside like something that is for the future. So I get that. Like I think that, I don't know. I think that boomers are just assholes. And they don't, one of the other things is that they kind of glorify themselves as these like civil rights leaders, which they got the Civil Rights Act passed, but that's not like a class thing, that's like a race thing, which is an interesting thing that, you think of it as a leftist movement, but it was not,
I mean, but there are also a lot of boomers really doing poorly right now too. I think I'm concerned about who has voice. And it's not that boomers as a generation.
You're making it so fucking hard for me to not talk about Epstein.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just a few there's just a few very entitled boomers that have fucked everything up. And it's really hard to draw the line on who should be how to hold society at large accountable.
Oh man. Wow.
It's sometimes it's not like an individual or a group of individuals, it's the interactions between individuals that's the problem.
Yeah. I don't know. this is so interesting because I think there's a generational thing happening between the two of us where I'm like not as oppressed by society because of the advantage that the earlier start that I had than you. So like, I'm just at this cynical place where like, I'm like, oh shit, we're not going to hold any of these people accountable. But I mean, it's still interesting to make art. It's like one of the most rich, fertile places to make art about. Right. And I think that one of the things that I always like about art expression is that that is an experience that I don't have as directly, you know, like I've struggled to get like elite work, you know, and like fancy jobs, but I've never struggled to get work like the way that people are doing right now. You know, it's so fucking crazy. You guys got AI and shit, and it's the boomers that want it.
Yeah, AI is boring.
Well, I think it's like, I think they're firing people under the assumption that it's going to be able to do things that it can't, and they're going to struggle.
And I've been reading lots of, are you familiar with the work of Mark Fisher?
No.
They were a culture writer, I would say, in the UK. They passed away, I think, around 10 years ago now. And their most famous book was about capitalism and realism. And the reason why neoliberalism won out is not because it's the most popular ideology, but it's perceived to be the one that's going to win.
Yeah.
So I think the idea that you're going, like, when you operate from the idea that you're going to get screwed, so you might as well screw somebody else over, that's what leads to like neoliberal policy. And that's how we're so fucked.
Yeah.
It's, I think a lot of boomers ended up in this rat race where like it's either, they think they either take it for themselves or they lose.
Yeah.
And so how do you have sympathy and empathy for that in a way that's productive rather than just demonizing a whole generation of people?
And how do you do that? Through their objects?
I think reclaiming the personhood in the objects of what's been given up. I don't think you have to address it directly. I think you just let go and move on.
It sounds to me a little bit like when you, you know, when they discover like a civilization and they have their pottery to kind of look at, you know, and then piece together the lived experience as opposed to like the realities. But it is also funny that they're like an opulent generation compared to us, you know. It's just it's a weird thing. I think that also, going back to what I was saying about like the civil rights movement, is like neoliberalism is about intolerance for intolerance, right? That's like the whole basic premise of it, right? And so it's very convenient when you have a military industrial complex to have an ideology like that win out. Because then military interventionism is part of the cultural zeitgeist. And culturally, you can tell people like, hey, we got to go liberate these people, which is interesting. I think that like there's so much interesting discussion about the boomers and the counterculture and just how they like were rebelling against society. And then eventually they just were like, fuck it.
I think the bigger component of neoliberalism is the if you work hard enough, you can make it. The Richard Nixon, Margaret Thatcher, kind of. Okay, I came from nothing and I made it to the top. That's all you have to do. You have to police yourself.
Austerity, all that shit.
Yeah, that's the thought that that's the strategy that wins is what needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I can do it by myself.
What, change
No, go about the world.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't either. And I think that like there have been people who've tried. There have been people who've made very conservative efforts, and they have a very, very hard life. It's hard to kind of be, you know, it's easy for us to want to follow someone that takes us there. You know, kind of like, it reminds me of the Bernie years. And then you're just kind of like, fuck, like, I don't want to be the one.
It's like, what reality do you believe in? Reality is shaped a lot by our perceptions of what's going on, not really what's going on. So if enough people believe the way something works, it ends up being how it works. It's like Tesla stock. People believe people will buy Tesla stock, so the value will go up.
Yeah.
So the value goes up because people buy Tesla stock. There's no inherent value in Tesla stock, seemingly. Well, and debatably, somebody's gonna say that the innovation, but I don't think it's 1-to-1 correlation with the value that they're bringing.
I think electric cars are awful. Maybe in China they're good, but go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, if enough people believe in the same outcome, the world starts to shift in that direction.
And it's funny too, because the first ones to love Elon were the neoliberals too. You know, they were like, before he went right wing, he was the one that, like, that's what all the environmentally conscious people were buying into his perception, and then he fucked up his perception. I mean, it just kind of backs up the point you're making.
I mean, I don't know if anybody classifies themselves as neoliberal. I think it's just like a amorphous ideology that just covers things.
Oh, I think there are people that like outright say it. No, wouldn't Hillary Clinton? I mean, maybe she just says liberal, but I mean, she's pretty openly a neoliberal.
Is she?
Yeah, or whatever. She's whether or not she's self-identified. She is what I think when I say neoliberal.
Well, I think what I'm getting at is there's no like neoliberal council, like
the Democratic Party.
But they're not. It's not like a shadow government. It's like the collective belief, like I said before, like, this is the strategy that's going to win, so we're just going to do the strategy. It's like it's like a parasitic idea that.
How many elections have you lived through?
I think.
What year were you born? I'll do
94.
94.
I barely remember.
So you were born. So I was born in 86.
I think the first one I remember is Bush and Gore.
Bush Gore, that's 2000. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first one I remember.
Yeah, but you did one between, because 92, 96, 2000. So you lived through another one. But it's just interesting. Look, man, I also think Obama was a neoliberal. I just don't think that. And I get what you're saying, but I have very deep problems with politics. Yeah, I'll let you speak, and then I won't get distracted.
I think the reason why I'm trying to make the distinction is because I think more of us are catering to neoliberal ideology subconsciously than we want to.
I think that
it's been so indoctrinated into us.
I think you get shamed if you veer from it.
Yeah.
I think that I don't think that.
So it's not, it's.
I think that's what cancellation was a lot about, right?
It's become the default for the last, maybe since the project started in was in 1950s, 1960s.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the political default. Is neoliberalism, in some sense.
Yeah, it benefits the oligarchs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's trickle up economics.
Yeah, yeah. So,
and but it's also so like it's also about resource extraction, right? It's like it's colonialism.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that like it's interesting. I am so cynical that I think the basic premise, and I don't want, I don't mean this in a like the basic premise that I'm struggling of where we are in the conversation. I don't have a disagreement with like, I think that like, I'm just too black-pilled to believe in voting. And I think that there's not a disagreement in what you're saying about like, yeah, we all just default to neoliberalism. It's definitely a way to look at it. And I think, yeah, you're right. I just don't hang out in those circles. That like, I tend to hang out more with like people that have a little bit more of that diasporic experience. And so it's interesting to me, because I think in the brown communities there's a lot, and of which you have street cred. So I'm not I'm not excluding you, but I think in those spaces there's a lot more awareness of what neoliberalism actually looks out like outside of the country. So I wouldn't say that those people are. I would say Latinos are surprisingly more right wing than you would expect, and not neoliberal. More conservative culturally, and like not that they're Trumpers and all of that, you know, but like
Trump is very neoliberal.
Trump is 100% a neoliberal.
Yeah. So I'm not putting it on party lines. It's something that's affecting both.
Well, yeah, and Reagan and well, like Reagan was a neoliberal, Nixon was a liberal.
No, I'd say Nixon was neoliberal. It
depends on what policies. He also did the EPA. He did a bunch of shit that was like genuinely classical liberal, right? So it is an interesting thing. I would say compared to Ronald Reagan, he's to the left of Nixon, even though he got steamrolled and shit. But I don't disagree with you. I feel like the whole point of the Democratic Party is to hold the line. We cannot go more left of this, and that's how I would rephrase what you said. I think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I think that what is programming people is that impulse of like, how are you going to shame voters for not voting for you? Why didn't you offer shit? That's not how this system works anymore.
Right. I think what I want to
highlight
or attack is that idea that your votes don't matter. That the what's perceived as the winning strategy, it's how neoliberalism is able to stay successful, is because people believe it's what's going to win in the end. That it's the human nature to go down the path of capitalism and become your own boss and then not want to get taxed. And so you want, and that everybody wants to do that, and everybody is going to shift their political beliefs once that happens to them. So we got to keep voting for a system that makes that work, or that's a system that's going to win whether we like it or not. So let's just go with it.
Yeah, but like when I don't want to vote for that system, I get called the worst things. You know, so like I feel like the system is set up to kind of feed into that, because the people, like those people that you described, the people that benefit from it are the rich ones, and they can keep perpetuating, you know.
I mean, there's more voting than just going to the polls. It's like your day-to-day actions. And I think neoliberalism also puts the onus of personal responsibility like onto the individual, like so much responsibility. So it also puts the responsibility of, oh, you have to fix this system. And that's a really oppressive thought.
But
right?
Who do you think
so instead of viewing it as it's a person's entire responsibility to fix something, and so they're not going to fix it, I'm not going to fix it, just focus on what you can do and have some hope for the future.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. I mean,
yeah, like
that's why I have a podcast.
This is your vote.
Yeah, no. But I mean, and I'm not telling. I vote. I just don't think it's fucking. It's like does less than this podcast does. I think you know, at least at the act global, think local level. But yeah, so tell me a little bit more about the work, because I mean, all of this philosophical stuff is like kind of like, I mean, I don't know, like, is neoliberalism present in the work, or I just don't want to go down, like, I have a tendency of getting caught up on politics, and I don't want to do that to you.
Yeah.
So let's pivot.
What I've been writing my thesis paper.
The stuff?
I'm like, yeah, the oppression of like my inability to see myself in the world.
Okay, tell me more about
which
that.
is affected by previous generations of being overrepresented in the world.
So you're doing white guilt stuff?
No.
What do you mean previous overrepresented?
So like I mentioned Star Wars earlier, like that.
Oh, generational overrepresentation.
Yeah,
okay,
generational overrepresentation.
All right. I just don't, I got worried for you because you do not strike me as a white guilt guy, and I felt really bad for you for a second, because that's just Catholic guilt. Yeah, you do not strike me as that guy. I get you. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So how do I take what they've left me, which is this ideology? Am I, like, I think one of the
that's amazing
analogies I'm thinking of is like Animal Farm. Like I have all, like, I'm getting
Animal Farm.
Yeah, like am I just gonna recreate the system that I'm stuck into, and like that anxiety of it? Like eventually, all the old people are gonna die, and then I'm gonna be the old person. And am I going to be stuck when it's my turn to change things? Am I gonna change them, or am I gonna fall back into it?
Do you know the history of the Black Plague? So the Black Plague,
it was best workers' rights movement.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
So for people that don't know what we're inside joke laughing about, the middle class was created because people were dying at such a quick rate that like inheritance was going from one person to the next person and accumulating each time till it got to the last person, and then that last person had inherited, like, 40 people's things.
And they were also able to negotiate pay rates because there were fewer workers.
Yeah, exactly. Because so that's an interesting thing. And in fact, in my Cuban lineage, my on my mother's side, there's a woman who inherited a bunch of shit. Like, our family got rich from the influenza. So she was the richest person in
way to get rich.
I'm sure it's traumatic. Everybody in your family dying, but it's interesting. Like, and she's like the richest person in my family. Then communism comes and wipes out all that wealth. But I also think, like, if there's rich people in Cuba, doesn't it benefit the U.S. to have that system kind of quash that competition? Anyway. But I think it's interesting. I tend to be a little bit more. I think that, like, I've just lost it with age. Like, lost that fight, and now I just have cynicism. I think that it's cool that you still have that. That and trying to figure it out. It's also interesting how different. Like, I'm from Miami, and like over there, people are so much more political. Like like out here, I see people move out here and they just don't engage, with local politics that much. Or maybe I'm wrong, but I just I feel like like in Miami, it's a smaller town. It's easier to take on the big and powerful. But what is any of it activism for you, or is, like, what is and how do you identify if you're not neoliberal? What is your slice? Where do you feel like you fit in the spectrum? You're not a Marxist, are you?
No.
Yeah. You have to read Marx to be a Marxist, and I haven't done it.
Yeah, I've read some Marx, and it was very confusing. It's not even, it needs another translation.
Yes, I've heard he needs an editor.
Yeah, the the translation is now outdated to the point where it's like it's ye old English, and you're like, also it's all the translations. At least the translation I got off of a used book platform. Definitely had some leanings in the translation.
Yeah. Wait, like was it evaluating it negatively and it's as a translator? This idiot says, or was it the opposite? Or was it like this genius? Like what was the?
No, it was. From what I could tell, it was for some class. And I think it was intentionally translated with not common English.
Oh, okay.
And in the margins was somebody's notes.
And the notes were they enlightening?
I can't remember them. They were lots
help?
of questions.
Okay.
And yeah, I have no idea what was being said. Like I read it, and
yeah. Well, I mean, I find the idea of taking on neoliberalism interesting. I feel like, because now it helps me think of it in terms of an analogy, because I think that, like, you know, when we look at the power structures today, and you're dealing with, it feels like you don't need a church to have these entrenched power structure systems. We're like heading towards a little bit of feudalism again. And we're not under monarchs, you know, which is what we've gotten rid of the divine right of kings. That went away around the Enlightenment. And
now you just pay 30% on Amazon Marketplace whenever you want to barter.
Yeah, exactly. Or you're not allowed to have thought anymore. And dude, like, you know, since we're talking about neoliberalism, everybody's very mad at Trump, but who gave Trump the powers? It was Obama. Obama suspended habeas corpus. Now, you know, so all this stuff that's like pure neoliberalism. I think that the partnership, my take on it is that the partnership is neoliberalism versus, I don't like to use the word fascist because I think it's time sensitive. I think, you know, it was, fascism was coming around at the beginning of the nation state, right? Like
at the extremes of neoliberalism, the difference between that and fascism is that you self-report your grievances. Like,
well,
you're in charge of your own performance review for fascism.
Well, who was in power before Mussolini? It was a liberal Democrat government, right? So it's fecklessness, weaponized fecklessness. Then the other team comes in, they wreck it up, they destabilize it, and it's almost like they're holding you hostage. Neoliberalism or bust, like kind of like what you were saying of well, we've only got this to save us from complete and total. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I think that I moved to California thinking it was going to be great, and it's not. I left red state Florida to come all the way to California. It's the same problems, just with different people in charge.
Different flavors.
Yeah, different flavors. Yeah. They don't say the N-word and they don't call you an F-word, but you know, they treat you like both, right? I don't know if that's appropriate to say, but I said it. But yeah, man. I don't know. What are your thoughts with the progress that you're making? What do you think you're taking it to it? And like, because I do think that the analysis of class as a generational thing is an interesting perspective, and to analyze, because presumably they also have a lot more shit than us, because they have a lot more space than us.
Yeah, and they can just, everything has become obsolescent, planned obsolescence.
Yeah. Beyond that, they don't even want you to own. I saw a thing that they don't want you to own your computers anymore. They want you to
what HP is doing, I think it's HP, right?
Yeah.
It's doing that leasing program.
Yeah. It's wild. And now, like, all the everything is too expensive because the GPUs are like crazy expensive. So
right, it's stealing thought labor.
Yeah.
I don't know if my work is intentionally touching that, but I think somebody could make that reading out of my work. On top of the stuffed animals, I'm layering ideas of like false nostalgia, things that could be perceived as my experiences, but are a little too
Old.
early for me.
Yeah.
So I've borrowed are you familiar with the Super Game Boy?
Yeah.
Allowing you to play Game Boy games in color on your TV.
Oh, no, I don't remember that one.
No, so it's a peripheral, like you...
I thought it was the magnifying glass thing with all the speakers.
No, so you have the Super Nintendo, and then you plug... It's a cartridge with a full Game Boy inside that plugs into the Super Nintendo, and then you put your Game Boy game in there, and it colorizes with preset palettes. And certain games had extra features, but the core of it is that there's 32 different color palettes that you can replace the black and white image from the Game Boy and coloring it. So like I've gerrymandered all the objects in my paintings with one of these color palettes.
Okay. So is it like so you're not doing them in like is it infographic-y kind of not
No, it looks very, I think, digital and video gamey aesthetic.
Okay.
In a weird,
without being 8-bit, like with pixelated.
Yeah, like going for the vibe of the colors, not the vibe of how it's pixelated.
What did you grow up playing with? Someone recently brought up laser tag, and I had like the 80s laser tag game that had the what is your detritus?
I remember the Game Boy Color.
You remember the Game Boy Color?
Yeah.
Were you was it already video games? Did you have any toys?
I'm Pokemon generation.
Pokemon generation. I was Ninja Turtles generation.
Preschool when Pokemon came out.
Oh wow. So, they got you all your life.
Fucking
wow.
Yeah.
I just saw a post of like where it was like my friend is in a pharmacy school, and they did a test to see where you have to see which is a Pokemon or which is an actual drug, and it's just like the name of a drug, the name of a Pokemon, and I was like, that's no fair. Some people have such an advantage if they've been catching them all their whole lives. I would have complained to the professor.
Yeah. So
I was like, I'm not a nerd.
Yeah. So there's that small distinction because like the Game Boy Color did something similar, but with different color palettes in the Super Game Boy.
Yeah.
The color data is different, but it did colorize games.
How many colors were in a palette for that?
The Game Boy has 4 tones it can display.
Okay.
So each color palette would replace the entire screen with one of those 4.
Wasn't it only green though? The original
screen was. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a black and white data displayed on a green screen.
Okay.
Like the screen, not a green screen in the video production. Green screen is literally
a screen that's is green. Yeah.
So just take that data, play it on the TV. Now you have full color to your advantage, and you can allow, the person playing the games to choose what color palette that they want for their image. The Game Boy Color did not let you select the color palette you wanted, but sometimes there's color data baked into black and white games that could be used to preload a color palette. Interesting.
I didn't know that they were so forward thinking. That shit was awesome, dude. I used to have a friend that wanted to wear a green Game Boy on a chain on his neck, like Flavor Flav style. When they started coming out in color.
That's a fire hazard for how many batteries you'd be around his neck. What was that, 24 AA batteries?
He was way ahead of it. That's the first wearable. You got an Apple Watch right now. You owe him.
I was looking at sexy Game Boy ads.
Oh, really?
There was a period in the early 2000s where Nintendo, I forget which magazine, but they put out print ads that were really sexy.
Like with models or like with sexy pixelated things?
No, like very innuendo.
Innuendo.
Like the image I'm thinking about is like, there's a photo that says private parking and it's a car backed up and you're looking at two people from the back window, hands pressed against the window, the back of a person, like it's obvious like that they're getting hot and steamy, making out and leading to something more. And in the person's back pocket, where their back is facing the rear window, is a Game Boy Color. So like very, very provocative and suggestive.
Their audience was growing up by that generation. I think we were teenagers. Yeah, I remember like just that shit was amazing. Like I don't think there's anything that kind of is that all consuming. I mean, the Switch is fine, but the original Game Boy, hours. What tell me a little bit more about the program. How are you enjoying the school, all of that? It's good.
It's
any
great.
teachers you want to badmouth?
No. I mean, I'm not in any classes right now, so if I was in somebody's class, I'd probably badmouth them once.
You'd be like, I'm so frustrated with them.
Yeah.
But and then when's graduation? And you're May of this. Wait, so this is your last year?
This is my last year. My thesis is in April.
Oh shit, dude! Time flies about fast. Because I thought that we were. I guess I invited you more than 2 years ago when you first started. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you invited me a year ago.
A year ago?
When I was in the middle
of it. Okay.
Trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, cool. So are you happy with the program? Would you strong recommend, any regrets?
I mean, I think it's the same advice that you'd give anyone that's going to art school. Like, do you want to go to art school? You're not making any money out of this.
Are you looking to teach? Is that your path?
I don't think teachers have it's not a good time to become a teacher.
It's competitive as shit. Every year there's more.
I think if I do any teaching, it is in a non-institutional setting at first, at least.
Okay.
I mean, if I start getting courted by schools and I become some fucking amazing artist that I don't teach and I just collect paychecks, maybe I reinforce the system I have problems with.
Well, I mean, this is embarrassing, but I still secretly hope that this show will get me big enough that I can also be a guest teacher. But I don't think at this rate, I'd have to do this show 20 more years.
What I'm interested more in teaching right now is like, what skills can I learn in art that I can teach to a general audience? Because I think art technique is oversaturated in educational spaces. Like, you can go to YouTube and learn how to draw all the anime you want. There's no shortage of people explaining how to draw, but not many people, I think, explaining what lessons can be derived from that can be applied more broadly in life. Like
outside of art making. Like, I think there's a lot of meditational value in art making. For sure.
In teaching, teaching people roundabout observational skills.
Yeah.
That can be applied more broadly.
You know what's crazy? I used to think that art school taught people how to think critically, and doing this show I've learned that that's not the case.
Sometimes it is.
It should be, I would think, but a lot of times people are like, nah, that's not of interest to me. And that's totally fine. I'm not, it was just something that I thought was, I took for granted as part of art education. And yeah, no shade on the artists that don't. It's just like, I think it's like, my program was just so conceptual that it was like, I thought like, oh, all programs are like this, but it's probably good that they're not, because it was kind of brutal too. Anything that I haven't asked you about that you maybe want to get out before we close out? Sometimes I don't always have the questions. It's also okay if you don't.
Yeah, we got pretty scattered, so I'm trying to think. is what I might have said that I didn't have a chance to expand on because we quickly jumped from jumped ship into some tangent.
Well,
do you have ADHD? Because I got it bad.
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the.
Well, the thing also is that like the problem with podcasting is that it's conversational. That's why I always give people a chance at the end, because like sometimes you're just like you get caught up on something and you completely don't.
That's why the third person producer is pretty common. I think it's like here's the agenda. Next topic. This is the topic.
Oh my god, I would punch that person. I'd be like, Jamie, shut up. I'm using the name of what's his name? Joe Rogan. His guy. No, yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting. I think it's also I think one of the things that I'm trying to balance out is when to press people on what they make and when to not press, because a lot of things are intuitive, right? And then so sometimes people struggle to like but you were definitely one of the people that does that, but sometimes people like do the whole episode and they're like, we didn't talk about my work. I'm like, I asked you about it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really just trying to push what I'm interested in right now.
Yeah.
And I'm doing as many. I think I'm being pretty maximalist
in promotion.
No, in my practice. So I'm thrifting objects. I'm setting them up in still life. I'm drawing them. I'm imposing weird esoteric color palettes that are not genuine, but could be genuine to myself.
Yeah. It's your filter, your cultural filter.
Yeah, a cultural filter. What's perceived to be my cultural filter. I am taking large format photographs, screen printing them, and then stitching them into the paintings.
Oh, wow.
So there's portals of access and thought. So there's, in the recreation of this space of elements, there's still an escape.
Yeah. Of
what I really want, which is just and it's hazy, it's obliterated because it's a screen printed photo. So no matter how, and I'm not good at operating a large format camera. So these are like blurry images. A lot of them like have light leaks, and it's just.
What are you using?
4x5.
By who?
Smart Flex. It's a Chinese.
That didn't exist when I was a kid.
No, it was a Kickstarter.
Oh, okay.
It was a Kickstarter from last year.
Is it prone to light leaks, or
I
is
think
it
I'm
you
bad
just
at operating? I'm bad at loading film. Like I have ADHD, so like, is there film in this canister? Like, yeah.
Okay, that'll do it. Yeah,
that'll do it. Yeah, forgetting the settings on the camera and like
just going for it.
You can open the shutter.
Yeah. A little too long. Yeah.
So like there's lots of chance, and it's like a lot of photos of people with identities obliterated.
Okay.
And so like that's being stitched in, and then I moved away from giving necessarily strict titles and writing like long form poetry for the titles.
How many words? 200?
Some are short, but I wrote a half page for a piece.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a poem, so it's lots of line breaks, but like if you're going to the painting is being hung for the open house, open studios tomorrow at USC. And
send me the address. I'll try to make it.
Yeah. It's the smallest piece. It's 12 by 12. So it's being dwarfed by everything. But I think when they're formatting the image list, I'm going to take up half a page.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I like those games. Mm-hmm. Well, cool, man. Thank you for making it out. And thank you for taking me up on the, because a lot of times I'll be like, your invitation is open if you're not ready right now, and people won't follow up. So, and then they're like, but I appreciate you. No, it's good. It's good to have people also interested in following up.
Yeah, because I'm not good at promoting myself.
That's okay.
I need to be on talk shows. You
called me the Letterman of the art world.
Letterman of the art world.
I'll take it. That's maybe like, more than I deserve. But
and so it's like I don't need to go out the world alone. I can just be good at a few things
Yeah.
and work with people.
Yeah, dude. But you're also, I mean, you're like, I would put you in one of the healthier crews.
Yeah.
You know, like I know a lot of crews in the art world in LA, and they're all, you know, some of them don't even know each other or of each other. I think you're like, you know, you're in with good people. Like you should take that as a sign of your qualities.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, I it is a big deal for a white boy to hang out with all Mexicans. Like that shit ain't easy. You know, like
that's all I know.
Did you from San Pedro? Is that?
No, I'm from Long Beach.
You're from Long Beach. Okay. Yeah. That's right.
Like my parents were divorced and remarried. So I have on both sides different
siblings.
No, Hispanic parents.
Oh, okay.
So
you have step parents that are ex step parents.
I have.
Oh no, they remarried to other people. I thought you were saying they remarried to the. Yeah. Okay.
Biologically white parents, but additional parents that are.
Yeah.
Like my stepfather was Chilean.
and your stepmother?
Mexican and Spanish.
Okay, cool. Yeah. No, it's funny. I mean, there's so many white people that come to LA that ain't from out here, you know, and like they don't treat the culture with respect. You're definitely not one of them. So I want to give you that publicly acknowledge that, like, when I talk bad about white people, I ain't talking about Jahn Muller.
I don't need any acknowledgement.
Yeah, but I just don't want you to take it personally when I say nasty shit. Well, cool. What can we promote for you? Your baby _Muller?
No.
Yeah, okay.
I got my name legally changed to get away from my racist ass father.
Okay. So your name is not
it. So I changed the spelling to because I was like trying to figure out the spelling I wanted for my name change.
Okay.
So I changed the Instagram handle when I had my name legally changed. It's Jahn Baby Muller.
Right, Jahn Baby Muller.
Underscore. It's, I don't know if you can do fancy. Can ChatGPT get that to flash on the screen?
Oh no, we're not. We don't do visuals like that.
No visuals.
It'll be somewhere in the description, I think.
No, we don't.
You're making work for me, man.
I mean, I don't want you to sign in for a Microsoft account so you can use their movie editor.
No micro slop. Oh my god.
But yeah, I'm trying to push Substack right now.
Oh yeah, do you have a Substack? It's
cool. I
have
have 6 followers. Maybe I can get.
You know how many I started with? 0.
Yeah, that's.
In 6 years, you might get to 300 in the followers.
I know. Like, I think that's more valuable than Instagram.
What, the YouTube or the Substack? Yeah.
And so I'm pushing for that because at least if nobody follows me, I'm still writing about my ideas, which is helpful.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm pushing that, and then my show.
What's your Substack?
My girlfriend set it up when she was.
We'll link it below.
Yeah, I forget what the handle is. Like I said, I just started it. I didn't make the handle myself.
ChatGPT, when you write up my shit, my descriptions, make sure all this information is included. But you're gonna have to send it to me too.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Yeah. No, I gave it to you on that postcard.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, you have all of it
taken care of.
You know, I don't remember. I have QR codes.
All right, and if you guys enjoyed the show, share, like, and subscribe, and rate us 5 stars, comment. All that stuff helps us get bigger and helps get our artists more exposure. And that helps me out too. So I appreciate that as well. If you guys would like to join our Patreon, it's $5 a month. You get early access episodes. I have been so good about getting those out on time for like a year now. So there's no, like, I take the money people give me seriously. And you get early access episodes, and you get your name in lights on the Patreon scroll, and I'll give you a shout out. Big shout out to Tony Irons, M. Triskovsky, Nick Lowe, Amir Zaki, Hiroshi Clark, Jackie Castillo, and Ryan. I really appreciate all the help you guys give me. It really means a lot to me. Thank you so much, Jan, and we'll be back next week with another guest and another topic that may or may not be art related.